What is up, guys? Welcome to my interview series Back to the Covers. In these interviews with members of our drum community, we look back at their first YouTube cover and celebrate how far they have come since starting and what got them started as a YouTuber. We check out how they've improved their drumming and their setup. Join me as we revisit our YouTube drummers past and look to their futures. What is up, guys? Welcome to part 10 of Back to the Covers. Now, I'm thrilled to announce my guest for this episode is definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. I've said that for a very, very long time. So without further ado, my guest at this time is the wonderful Chris Bates. Woo! This is when I need a live studio audience for that applause. Maybe I'll put some canned applause in. But anyway, how are you, Chris? How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your series.
My absolute pleasure. This is the first time we've ever spoken. So, I mean, we followed each other about 3 years. We collabed, like you said, 2 years ago, was it, that we collabed together?
Oh, yes, very. And it was on Africa's Toto, my very first collaboration. And you were the one who became the very first YouTuber to collaborate with me.
Absolutely honoured for that. Awesome, awesome. Now, I remember it well. Obviously, I've progressed a lot since then. I still can't play Africa because that rhythm on the hi-hat, right, is insane. So that was the first collaboration when, for me, I was your hype man. I just followed you, and actually it was the first collab that instead of playing along to the track, I played along to your recording. So there's a first for you there, some trivia there. So anyway, you are a phenomenal drummer, and we're going to talk about that a lot today. So thank you for coming on this series. Obviously, we are going to delve into the past of your YouTube. We're going to look at the present and then go into your future. But before we do, of course, we have to talk about Back to the Future. Now, I don't have any merchandise that's new. I've shown everybody throughout this series all of my merchandise. However, I'm going to start showing my other movie merchandise. So, I'm going to start with, what should I start with? I've got a shelf full in front of me. So, let's start off with this bad boy. Ghostbusters. Oh, he's green. Look, it's not working. Oh my God, that was a bad example. Anyway, everybody can see it's Slimer. But right now, look, you can just see the teeth. That looks even spookier.
Looks like it's going to eat me.
I know, right? Awesome. So, I know you're a big movie fan. Tell me about your love for Back to the Future. I assume you've seen them.
Oh yes, I remember seeing all of the Back to the Future movies when they came out. I remember watching them back to back growing up. I haven't watched this series in years, but they are definitely among many of my pop culture favorites.
Also,
I got a big movie collection, so it's kind of hard to describe which would be my favorite. But Back to the Future, definitely one.
Excellent. And which part do you think is your favorite?
Definitely the first one, to be honest. It was like telling this crazy story of Michael J. Fox's character trying to get back to back to when their parents met, which was quite time traveling. And I could go on about it, but I would just say that it's like one of the craziest things. Like, if you wanted to relive the past, then in order to get back to the future, it's like, well, like, how did this happen when my parents met? And then went back to how it was like one of the greatest plots for a movie, and that's probably why it was one of my favorites.
Awesome. Okay, fantastic. Well, without further delay, we're going to go on our own time travel journey now. So we're going to hop into the DeLorean and we're going to go back to the past. Here we go. Okay, and here we are back in the past of your YouTube channel. So tell me, when are we? What year and what month is it?
This was back in August of 2020, where I decided that if I'm going to be doing any YouTube videos, like, of all the artists, I could really not resist playing some James Brown.
Excellent.
And this tune was definitely one for the collection.
So good. I mean, and what song is it?
It is Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud.
Hell you are, yeah. Now, what a song. Now, obviously, getting to know your channel as I've done, and how many videos do you have on your channel? It took me forever to find this one. I was just scrolling down. There's so many covers. Do you know how many you've done?
Well, I've done so many, I've automatically lost count. I could probably go to YouTube Studio in order to get an accurate number, but I do believe that since this first video came out, up until now, I have done more than 1,000 covers.
Yeah, that's why it took me so long to get to it. But anyway, but my point is, this was a great one to introduce yourself as a drummer, because you do a lot of kind of funk and soul and tracks like this, so I think it was a great introduction. So why did you choose this song?
Well, because of all the songs that I've ever played, like the kind of genre of music, funk to be exact, it is definitely one of my favorites, because I like to get creative and do like a whole bunch of hits with horn sections and being able to play something that's really syncopated, and that's what James Brown and his drummers have done a lot of, which is why I've been such a fan of his music, and I've been looking up a lot of the drummers who've played for him. The ones who have been with James Brown throughout the height of his fame have really brought the foundation to funk, including Clyde, and I had to make sure that I wanted to showcase not only my love for James Brown, but for those drummers who have played for him. And this was something that I thought would be a really good start to the channel, and boy, what a good start it was.
Yeah, a phenomenal choice, fantastic. So why did you start your channel? Tell me how you got going with it.
Well, it was during the COVID lockdown when I was actually, I definitely could not get back to work. Like half of the city of St. Joseph, Missouri, which is where I lived in, was completely out of work. We were all confined in our homes. Mm-hmm. So if we actually had to be in lockdown, we had to do something to keep ourselves entertained. And since I had a drum set to play on, and right now, I knew that I was probably going to be running the risk of pissing off a whole bunch of neighbors. But as I started to play a lot more, when I got the time, a lot of people really like to hear it. So then that kind of put my mind at ease that, well, if I could play as long as I want to, I won't have any issues. And then I was also trying to look up ways of how I can be able to play along to some of my favorite songs with a camera of such. I've seen webcams and iPhones being used for YouTube videos that have been already out there. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't have a lot of equipment to work with. Like this video in particular, including some of the ones that I've done in the beginning, mm-hmm. Don't have any microphones. All I had was my iPhone, yeah. which I hooked up on a music stand, yeah. and a tripod on it, which was high enough for me to see myself and my kit. And then it actually turned out pretty well, especially with what little that I have. So the more I tried to use the softwares and apps, I actually started to do it a lot more, just by playing along with a whole bunch of tracks from like my iPod while my phone was being recorded at the same time. Mm-hmm. So the more I did it, the more I had fun with it, and then that was pretty much how the channel was born.
Oh, excellent. So you used your iPhone. Which iPhone would that have been at that time?
Back then, I had the first generation iPhone SE.
Yeah, and so many of us do use our iPhones as well for this recording. Now, did you say you're using your iPod? So what? I see you're wearing headphones. Is that you listening to your iPod?
Yes, I actually had an iPod Nano. Back when my channel was first getting started. Mm-hmm. That's what I used on this very first video, and I've done that on several others around that time. So that was what I was using, so that I can be able to play along to the track, and then I would hit my iPhone on record first, and then
sit down and
then get on my set. Then I would just hit the play button on my iPod Nano, and then that's when I would just start playing.
Fantastic. So, like you said, the audio we're hearing, that's just from the iPhone, right? From the camera that we can hear.
Yes, that was the iPhone's microphone recording just the room in general, which is not the best, but it was all I could do then.
Exactly. It sounds good. It's a bit hot. I've had to turn it down a lot, but it's very good. Now, as for the track we're hearing, did you just add that to the video when you put it together?
Yes, and the steps that I took was that the iPhone that I had then and the iPhone that I have now, they both have the iMovie app. That was what I used to put together some of my videos, and or actually not some of them. It's actually what I used in all of the videos.
Cool. It works. It's easy, and you know, with only one camera angle, what more do you need? You don't need fancy software. iMovie is fabulous anyway. It's just a slimmed down version of Final Cut Pro, so that's very good. What kit are you playing in this cover?
Well, the kit that I was playing in this video, this was the only kit that I owned at the time. It's originally a 5-piece Mapex Venus series, which was the oldest kit that I've ever owned. I've had that drum set since 1997.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
Very cool.
it's yeah, it was even though it was an old kit, I've been taking real good care of it, and just had so many memories. I just did not want to get rid of it, so that was why I still kept the same kit. I did not upgrade at the time. And not only was I playing with such an old kit, but I also added a lot more drums and hardware to it. Like for example, the floor tom that you can see right, that's a 14-inch SPL, which was the same color as the Venus kit series itself, but it was not included with the drum set. I've actually bought that as an extra piece, and also above the bass drum, the 10-inch was a Ludwig. There was also an 8-inch, which is covering up one of the cymbals. You can't see that, so I actually added more drums to that Venus series because I wanted to have a lot more drums to play with, since I was only playing with that same kit when my channel first started. It was the only kit I had at the time.
Very cool.
I think I said that though.
And I can see you like your cymbals. There's a lot of cymbals there. A lot of cymbals. Was that about the time you started drumming in the 90s? How long have you been drumming?
Well, when I got that drum set back in 97, as I mentioned earlier, that technically was not the very first drum set. Like, I believe it was the summer of 95 when I first discovered a snare drum sitting in my grandmother's basement that I thought was just another toy, which I really had a lot of fun playing around with. And then right around the time, I was like very musically curious because I was watching a lot of VH1 and MTV growing up. Even though I was a child, my parents definitely would not have wanted me to do that then. But as I continued to play with that snare drum, I was like watching the drummers in the music videos who had a lot more than a snare at the time. And then the more I played it, the better I was like getting, just by just hitting on that kind of stuff. And then it actually led me to build my own drum set out of toy cans that I used to play with when I was really little.
Excellent.
And it was around that time when also my my older brother, he actually started to teach himself how to play guitar, and then we played together a lot. Very cool. And then it also led to Christmas of '96 when I got my very first drum set, which was a 4-piece. It was a very vintage set that really did not last long, and the cymbals that I've had with that set, they definitely weren't top of the line, but they were good enough for me to get started. And I actually had to use that kit to help me practice when I was starting getting drum lessons. And then as I continued to get better, I was banging a lot harder, and I actually got very close to destroying the set. And then it was right around close to Christmas of '97 when that set was about to be gone for good. So luckily,
and you got this one.
Yeah, luckily I got the set that you see in the video, which a lot more doable. It was a lot harder for me to transport around whenever I needed to take it to gigs and stuff like that. That set has always been with me. Like, I would consider it one of my very first sets. Allowed me to progress as a drummer, and as time went on and so many bands I played with, so many concerts, recitals, and youth services, and like skate parks, and so many other places that I've played at. Awesome. If I had to bring my own set, that set was the kit that I would bring.
Awesome. Well, that's enlightening. So it sounds like you've pretty much been a drummer your entire life. So that's epic. I love it. Great story. Okay, now last question in the past before we come back to the present. If you could indeed go back in time in a DeLorean and you could talk to yourself back then, what advice would you have given yourself about your YouTube channel at that point?
Well, going back to this, like, I probably would have asked myself, like, what would be the best way to get like the best sound and video footage, and make sure that they're like all put together to make sure that you get your message across.
Yeah.
So I would basically say that I also really wish that I had the audio equipment that I learned how to use, and I probably would have loved to have get lessons in those type of aspects, like professional audio recording, as well as learning how to put them together with video as much, because that's probably something that I did not even think about when I first put the channel together. And when I started doing covers for it, like as soon as people were starting to notice me, like, that's what a lot of people have asked me, not even in the comments, even though there have been some comments that said that my style was good, my playing was good, but it would sound better with microphones, and you probably would need a better angle. So I thought I was being criticized then. So maybe I wish that looking back, I probably would have avoided it by starting to look into like getting the best sets of mics and to learn how to record all of my stuff properly before I took off with this YouTube channel. So I've definitely been learning a lot throughout my time in the channel, and it's something that I'm still learning.
Cool, man. So that was your part. So let's hop back into the DeLorean. We'll go back to the future, to the present day, to talk about the success of your channel. So here we go. And here we are, back in present day, where of course you have remastered your song for me. So thank you very much for doing that. So this is now 2023 version of James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. So straight away, big difference is your camera angle, a much better viewer position. We can see you rocking those drums, we can see your entire kit, we can see your millions of cymbals. It's awesome. So let's talk about what has changed since your original cover. So, is it a different kit?
Actually, it is a different kit this time around. It is a Mapex Storm kit, which was also a 5-piece set. However, I sold the snare because I didn't like it. So I actually had to upgrade the snare, and for that particular kit, all of the cymbals are Zildjian I series. Which came with the set, and then when I got that as an anniversary present, that was how I got it. I actually added more cymbals to it. I had to make sure I found some good ones on sale. And there's also been some additions to this Mapex Storm set. There's an 8-inch tom, which you can see wiggling on the crash cymbals right next to my hi-hat there.
Yeah.
And there's another 14-inch floor tom that I added to it. There was also an 18-inch on the far right, which has gotten in the way, and that's another one that you can't see yet. However, that was like one of the best angle views that I have. It's also in a different room because the room that I was in when I first did the cover was just in like the attic space. It was only about a room away. I've moved all of my other drum sets to the attic that I'm in right now, which has a lot more space, and it's also got a couple more small drum sets, including my electric kit, which I usually dabble on from time to time, mostly practice, but sometimes if I ever decide to, play quieter, then I'll have it.
I don't think have you ever recorded a cover on your electronic kit? I don't think I've ever seen you on it.
Actually, I've actually done a few. I haven't done very many, but I've actually have done a few. Mostly the space that I've been playing in is basically for my acoustic kits, because those are the most. Those are like the only kits that I play on the most are acoustic sets. Hardly any electronic. That's just my preference. But there actually have been some other drum sets that I've gotten since the beginning of my channel, and I've actually have made covers with all of them.
So what are you using to record this now? So what's the difference from your original cover to how you record your covers now?
Well, there is a upgraded iPhone SE, which I'm still using to record, and I still use the iMovie app, and now you can pretty much see that unlike the last video, there are microphones on every single drum that you can see there, and there's also overheads for my hi-hat cymbals, and also for the cymbals above. Well, you can't see them over there, but there are definitely some overheads. I just need to reassure you of that. And for my recording, I'm actually using the Ableton Suite software, which ever since I've started getting like a first set of drum mics, there was an Ableton Lite, which could only let me use like only 8 channels to record my stuff. And since then, when I've gotten the upgrade to the Suite, and since I've got like a lot more microphones, I actually bought another set of microphones. Therefore, I can be able to hook some mics up to every single drum that I have. I'm pretty much in the first drum set that you've seen, and also in this kit that you see, which I'm doing this remastered James Brown song presently.
Excellent, cool. So obviously the sound difference is night and day. It sounds absolutely amazing compared to your first one, so kudos to you. So did it take you a long time to learn how to do this? How did you make that transition from no microphones to this? Was it a big learning curve, or was it pretty simple for you?
Well, around the beginning of my channel, during COVID, as we were starting to meet up with my army band, my first sergeant, who was my superior, he actually saw my channel and was a really big fan of my drumming, and he actually had lots of mics that he didn't use. So during one drill weekend, out of the blue, he brought me a set of Superlux drum mics that he didn't use, and he thought that, well, since I didn't have any, that if I ever gotten to learn how to use some audio properly, like for my current videos, then I could be able to use them, and I thanked him a lot for it. So he's part of the reason why my sound has gotten much better since the beginning. So I really owe it to him. And then I also went online to find another set of those same mics, or maybe different ones. I'm really not sure, but I believe they were very close to the same, because for the bigger sets, that was where I have the Superlux microphones. And now I also have a small Tama Club Jam kit, which I actually bought another pack of mics for that. But the the microphones that are in this video, they definitely helped, and also along the lines with me not only putting them together, but as soon as I was working with Ableton, I actually paid for online lessons through an instructor at my local guitar center in Kansas City.
Cool.
So he pretty much showed me the ropes on how to get the sound that I wanted, and playing around with a whole bunch of other different sounds and frequencies, and just I was doing a lot of experimenting, and that's something that I'm still doing because I'm always trying to try to get like the fattest sound that you can find, even though I'm not in a complete soundproof room.
Yeah.
So that's still a challenge.
That's
that
cool.
most
Yeah.
people may have to overcome. But other than all that stuff, the sound that I have now, I couldn't be any more pleased with it.
Excellent. Yeah, no, it's night and day. And what I love, I said about you moving the camera angle already. I love your style of playing. It's so smooth and you're so relaxed, and that inspires me because that's something I'm working on. But I love the MTV t-shirt as well. You look absolutely banging. So, obviously, let's talk about your success now since your first cover. So you now have 1.2 thousand subscribers, so 1,200 subscribers. Awesome, man. Was it only 2-3 months ago, I want to say, that you hit 1,000? Was it quite recent?
I believe it was around Christmas time when I hit the 1,000.
Excellent.
And,
what an accomplishment. It's amazing.
It's still actually going up.
Yeah, so it's crazy for everybody in our community that has hit 1,000. It then goes up really quickly after that. It seems like it takes forever to get 1,000. And now look at you, 1.2. Like, you know what I mean? It's nuts. So really, really congratulations there. Now, I know you also do a lot of live streaming. So not so much on YouTube, but...
it's called Twitch, and I've been on that platform for less than a year now. It was really popular, and a whole bunch of my friends who were... streaming on YouTube, they actually led me to a whole bunch of other streaming sites, and the one that came up the most was Twitch, and that is where I'm currently on now. Now I haven't advertised it pretty much, but I've recently got an affiliate spot on Twitch, so that's probably where the majority of my live streaming will definitely take place, and there's always room for covers here on YouTube as well. So those are pretty much like some of the main platforms which my content will be shown, and not only will you hear a whole bunch of covers, but you can also see my variety of drum sets. And like one of my other live streaming friends, they really like to advertise the fact that I own more than 3,000 play-alongs. Yes,
and also when I've caught your live streams, so I'm on, I always open your document so I can request one. It's a huge document. I mean, you're like an encyclopedia of drum covers, because and for me, what astounds me is you just do it from memory, right? It's incredible. So that's one of the reasons why I'm in awe of you, sir. So where do you think that comes from? Do you just naturally remember a song? What's your trick, man?
Well, lots of the songs for me are definitely from memory, and I've also learned how to play lots of different songs before I even learned it from memory in many different ways. Now that may seem a little confusing because many people that I've worked with are college educated. They've learned from method books as I have reading charts and sheet music, which is how I've learned lots of other songs. And I've also listened to so many albums, bought so many CDs, checked out so many music albums in the library. Like, I try to pretty much go everywhere to see what is currently out and what still sounds good, past or present. As far as learning through charts, that can be like a roadmap so that you can be able to learn certain grooves and when to fill, and when you're playing the verse and the chorus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There has also been times where I've actually had to learn songs which have not been very easy for me to learn by memory at first. It definitely takes practice, and then if I usually feel comfortable with it by now, then I probably wouldn't need it at all. So I definitely try to use the best resource depending on the songs that I choose.
Awesome. Excellent, excellent. Now, what do you love about being a YouTube drummer or a live stream drummer? What is it that's kept you going all this time, and what do you really enjoy about it?
Well, what has really kept me going was the feedback that I've gotten from a whole bunch of other drummers, and also some people who are not drummers who appreciate the content that we put out. And I also put out like lots of other stuff that nobody has heard in a long time, which those are the ones that I usually get the most feedback on a lot. Like it brings back memories, like I remember hearing this song back in college, or I actually grew up listening to this, and I remember slow dancing to this ballad, or I actually got my first kiss listening to this rock hit, or it's just the stories that I keep hearing about how certain songs that I have covered on this channel have brought back some really good memories, and their reaction to how I played it was nothing short of positive, and I've gotten those a lot ever since I started the channel. So they've all kept going from time to time, and more stories like that always pop up, and I always love reading about it. I never stop enjoying them, and as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more of those stories to come, which
Excellent.
is pretty much why I love doing this. It definitely keeps me going in that kind of way.
Awesome, fantastic. Now, lastly, in the present, how did you find this experience of remastering this track?
Well, this was definitely one of the tracks that I keep wanting to sound better and better. Like when I did not have microphones at first, there was a majority of songs that I've done with backing tracks, and also with tracks that I usually warm up with in method books, and they were all just saying that they were drum covers in the description. And since I got the microphones, I actually repeated a lot of those songs that I've done, and I made sure that they were the studio versions of what has been recorded then, and they are being recorded now, but they're getting to sound a lot more professional as times come. So I definitely wouldn't say that I've been plagiarizing myself. I'm just up in the ante on my sound as I continue to improve it, and that's what I felt like doing as soon as I was finally able to get the microphones and the software and the interfaces and all that other stuff that I've been using to record my tracks and recording my videos and stuff like that. So
awesome.
That's something that I'm still doing, and even though they may be repeated, you can definitely expect an improvement from what you may have heard at first to how it sounds now.
Excellent. Okay, brilliant. Right, well, let's hop back into the DeLorean, and we're going to go into the future and talk about your future plans. Here we go. And here we are in the future of your channel. So, tell me what you've got planned on your channel, what's going on, what you want to plug.
Well, there's definitely going to be a lot more covers. That's going to be a definite promise. And I've also been wanting to do a lot more collaborations. I've done it with drummers, I've done it with singers and musicians as well, which has really been so much fun. And it's always fun connecting with other musicians who happen to have the same musical taste. So that is definitely something that I'm wanting to do. There is also a way to get in touch in case anybody would like to chat with me, and while I still play some other stuff while people are like checking out my covers on YouTube. I might put some more live streams on YouTube in the near future. However, my main platform where I'm doing some live streaming at the present moment is on Twitch.
Cool.
So, I can also be sure to put that info in future video descriptions and maybe promote that channel in case anybody would like to come see me over there too.
Awesome. I will put a link to your Twitch in this video description as well. What is your username on Twitch if anybody wants to find you?
Now on Twitch, it's Chris Bates Drums, and it's pretty much got the same photo as I have on my YouTube channel. So
awesome.
That would definitely be a real great way to find me, because if you see the same picture that I have on my YouTube cover, then you'll expect to see that on my Twitch as well.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, I highly recommend you check out his live streams. I haven't caught a lot, but the ones I have caught, I always do a request. You always play that request for me, so I appreciate that every time. I hope to, I don't use Twitch that much, but I'm going to make a concerted effort to come and watch you on Twitch. I am one of your biggest fans, I promise you. I think you are one of the best drummers we have in our community. So look, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. It's a shame it took us so long to talk, but hey, we finally did it. How have you found this experience on Back to the Covers?
Oh, it's definitely been a great experience. Going back into the past and looking into the future, it was definitely eye-opening, and I definitely hope that every time I look back to what I've done, that I continue to improve my content, because that's definitely what the future is about. Just being able to progress. I mean, it's been almost 3 years since the beginning of the channel, and you know, almost 3 years and more than 1,000 videos and 1,000 subscribers later, and I'm still here, and I hope to continue doing this until the day I fall off the face of this earth.
Awesome. Well, what a good note to end it on. So again, thank you very much, Chris. So I'm going to end this episode as I do all the other episodes in the wise words of Dr. Emmett Brown. Your future hasn't been written yet. No one has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. Chris Bates, you are epic. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later. And here we are, back in the past of your YouTube channel. So tell me, when are we? What month and what year are we in, buddy?
Well, we are currently in April of 2023, and the very first...
No. Joey Clark did the same thing. This is hilarious. I'm going to have to do a blooper reel, you know that. I meant, where are we for this cover? We just went back to the future. Yeah. Joey Clark did the same thing. Right, let's do that one again. That's it.